Let's be real. Approaching a woman who isn't showing obvious interest can be one of the most intimidating moves for any man. It's a challenge, one that has the potential to go either really well or backfire spectacularly. But here's the twist. Just because she's not giving you signs doesn't mean you're out of the game. Some women don't express interest until they actually know you're worth it, and others might be interested but subtle about it. That's why learning how to approach a woman even when she doesn't seem interested can be a powerful skill. This isn't about crossing lines or pushing boundaries. It's about understanding that initial disinterest doesn't always mean she's completely closed off. In fact, sometimes her not interested body language is simply a guard she has up, a way of filtering out men who lack confidence or genuine intent. This is where most guys get it wrong. They assume they have to win her over with big, flashy gestures or over-the-top flirting. But the truth is, subtlety, patience, and a little emotional intelligence can go a long way. Now, here's the controversial part. Women aren't always sure what they're looking for right off the bat. They don't necessarily want a man who'll take no for an answer right away, but they do want someone who respects their boundaries and approaches with confidence and charm. So, when you approach her, keep in mind that a confident but respectful approach can often break through initial resistance. Throughout this video, I'll show you the right way to approach a woman who may seem uninterested without coming off as pushy or disrespectful. We'll explore why it's important to read her body language, approach in a friendly and non-threatening way, and most importantly, know when to walk away if she's genuinely not interested. It's all about balancing confidence with respect so you can make an impression without crossing the line. If you're ready to learn the nuances of approaching even the most reserved women, let's dive in and break down the essentials step by step. 1. Stay calm and confident. Approaching a woman who seems uninterested can feel intimidating, but here's the key. Confidence is everything. When you're calm and self-assured, you immediately set yourself apart from other men who may come across as nervous, overeager, or even pushy. Women can sense when a guy is confident and comfortable in his own skin, and it's a quality that's often far more attractive than any pickup line or gesture. Confidence, though, doesn't mean being arrogant or overbearing. It's about knowing your own value without needing her validation. This shift in mindset changes the whole vibe of your approach. Instead of coming off as someone desperately trying to win her over, you appear as someone who simply enjoys meeting new people and sharing good conversation. Women pick up on this subtle difference. It shows you're not just interested in getting her attention, but genuinely interested in her as a person. Here's a practical example. Imagine you're at a cafe and you notice a woman who looks like she's busy with her work or scrolling through her phone, not paying much attention to anything around her. Now, instead of hesitating or overthinking, you take a deep breath, walk over calmly, and say something light like, "Hey, I just wanted to say hi. I noticed you seem really focused. What's keeping you busy?" In this moment, confidence means not overthinking her response. Whether she gives you a short reply or decides to engage, your demeanor stays relaxed and friendly. You're not putting pressure on her to react a certain way. Instead, you're just making a genuine effort to start a conversation. If she's interested, she'll respond in kind. If not, you've kept things casual and respectful. No harm done. This approach shows her that you're calm under pressure and secure in yourself, regardless of how she responds. Women respect a man who can handle a potential no without getting discouraged or defensive. That confidence can often spark her interest even if she wasn't paying much attention at first. Ultimately, staying calm and confident is about taking the pressure off yourself and enjoying the moment. When you radiate this energy, it's much easier to make a positive impression, one that doesn't hinge on whether she's immediately interested or not. 2. Read her body language carefully. One of the biggest mistakes men make when approaching a woman is failing to read her body language. When you're trying to connect with someone who may not initially seem interested, understanding her nonverbal cues is essential. These subtle signs will let you know if she's open to talking or if it's best to give her space. Body language can tell you more than words. Simple things, like her posture, facial expressions, and eye contact, can reveal if she's comfortable or feeling guarded. For example, if she's leaning away, crossing her arms, or avoiding eye contact, she may not be open to a conversation. However, if she's relaxed, making brief eye contact, or angling her body toward you, she might be more receptive to getting to know you. A practical example. Say you approach a woman at a bookstore. You start with a friendly, casual comment like, "I always get lost in the thriller section too." If she smiles, makes eye contact, or turns slightly toward you, these are all positive signals that she's open to chatting. If she shifts away, gives a quick nod, or keeps her gaze on her book, it's likely a sign she isn't in the mood for conversation. It's important to stay observant and flexible. Don't push if her body language suggests discomfort. Back off respectfully. This isn't about trying to overcome her disinterest. It's about knowing when there's genuine interest to build on and when to respectfully step away. Body language is a language of its own, and learning it allows you to approach in a way that respects her comfort and boundaries. Another key aspect is being responsive to changes. If she starts out a bit reserved but gradually opens up, that's a great sign. Often women might appear neutral or cautious at first but warm up when they sense that you're friendly and respectful. Stay alert to these shifts and respond accordingly. Ease up if she's reserved, and engage more if she's receptive. When you're able to read her body language, it shows emotional intelligence and empathy, qualities that naturally make her feel comfortable. This way, you're not just focused on getting her attention, but genuinely attuned to her feelings. Remember, confidence is important, but understanding her cues is what makes the interaction meaningful and respectful. 3. Start with casual conversation. When approaching a woman who may not seem interested, the last thing you want to do is dive straight into intense or flirty lines. Starting with casual conversation is key because it eases any potential tension and keeps the atmosphere light. Remember, your goal isn't to impress her right off the bat. It's to create a comfortable vibe where she can get to know you without feeling any pressure. Casual conversations work because they're non-threatening. They don't require a big reaction from her, and they allow you both to relax into the moment. Think about it. Everyone prefers someone who's easygoing and doesn't demand immediate attention. Approaching with a friendly, simple comment about something around you, like a shared environment, the music playing, or even the setting itself, gives her something to respond to without feeling overwhelmed. Casual conversation is also disarming. It's friendly and lets her feel like you're genuinely interested in connecting as a person rather than trying to impress her or win her over right away. People naturally warm up to someone who makes them feel at ease, and women especially appreciate a guy who respects their comfort zone. You don't need to go for humor or be overly charming. Being real and approachable goes a long way in creating genuine interest. Another big advantage of casual conversation is that it allows you to gauge her reaction. You're setting a foundation without putting her on the spot, which can be a relief when she might otherwise be hesitant or guarded. She may be more likely to respond positively if the interaction doesn't feel like a high-stakes situation. Casual conversation also shows that you're not in a rush, which is appealing. It communicates patience and self-confidence because you're willing to let things develop naturally rather than forcing an instant connection. Women notice when a guy isn't trying too hard, and it often makes them curious about him. Approaching someone with ease, as if you're just chatting with a friend, takes the pressure off both of you. So, don't worry about making a big impression right away. Just focus on connecting in the simplest, most genuine way possible. A laid-back approach with a friendly comment can often lead to a real conversation, allowing her to relax and get to know the real you without any expectations. When you come across as casual and comfortable, you increase your chances of creating a meaningful connection, even if she wasn't initially interested. 4. Respect subtle boundaries. Let's be real, too many men overlook boundaries, especially the subtle ones. And when you ignore a woman's boundaries, even unintentionally, you make her feel uncomfortable and kill any chance of a real connection. Women naturally look for men who are attentive and respectful, and it's incredibly important to be tuned into the signals she's giving you, even if they're small. The truth is, a lot of guys need to wake up when it comes to respecting these cues. Just because she smiled politely doesn't mean she wants to be pursued heavily. Just because she replied to your question doesn't mean she's interested in a long conversation. Sometimes a woman's body language or minimal responses are all she'll give to show she's not interested. But if you're not paying attention, it's easy to misinterpret these as encouragement. The thing is, no woman wants to feel cornered or pressured. And if you're only thinking about what you want in the interaction, you'll miss the chance to make her feel genuinely comfortable and understood. So before you go any further, it's crucial to learn the art of respecting those subtle signals. Watch for signs like closed-off posture, minimal engagement, or even looking away. These can all indicate she's not open to more conversation, and respecting that shows you're not just there for your own benefit. Respecting boundaries doesn't make you weak or timid. In fact, it shows maturity and self-assurance. Men who respect women's comfort zones come across as trustworthy and naturally attractive. It's a level of awareness that demonstrates you're not desperate for her attention. You're comfortable enough in yourself to take a step back when needed. This quality is rare, and women notice it right away. Also, if you respect her boundaries, you actually increase your chances of connecting with her in the future. A woman is far more likely to remember a man who approached with respect, took no for an answer, and left gracefully than one who pushed too far. Sometimes, letting her feel in control of her space makes her more curious and open to talking later on. So, if you're serious about making a positive impression, stop bulldozing over boundaries. Take a minute to observe and respect her signals. It's time to wake up and realize that respecting subtle boundaries isn't just good behavior. It's what separates the men she remembers from the ones she wishes she could forget. 5. Know when to walk away. Sometimes the best thing you can do is walk away. It sounds counterintuitive, right? But knowing when to walk away shows strength and confidence, two qualities that are far more appealing than desperation or insistence. Men often make the mistake of thinking they need to win her over at any cost. But the truth is, persistence without purpose often just comes off as pushy. If she's clearly uninterested, your decision to gracefully back off speaks volumes. Walking away doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're smart enough to respect her feelings and protect your self-respect. When a woman senses that you can walk away if the vibe isn't there, she'll see that you value yourself and that you're not depending on anyone else's validation. This attitude can actually make you stand out in a positive way because it shows emotional maturity. Here's where a lot of men slip up. They ignore obvious signs because they think being relentless will somehow change her mind. But in reality, if she's not reciprocating, she's probably not going to, no matter how long you try. Respecting her lack of interest and walking away isn't just about respecting her, it's about saving your own time and energy. Chasing someone who's clearly not interested isn't just exhausting, it keeps you from finding someone who genuinely is. Plus, a graceful exit leaves a positive impression. Rather than being the guy who overstayed his welcome, you become the guy who showed respect and self-control. You might be surprised. Sometimes walking away creates curiosity. When you leave the interaction confidently, she may remember you in a favorable light, and if her interest changes, she'll be more inclined to reach out. It's also important to recognize that rejection isn't personal. Not every interaction is going to lead to a connection, and that's okay. By walking away, you're sending a message. You're looking for someone who genuinely wants to get to know you, not someone you have to convince. This mindset shift is powerful because it keeps you from feeling disappointed or dejected. You're simply moving on to find a better fit. In the end, knowing when to walk away is an art. It's about confidence, self-worth, and the maturity to understand that sometimes the best way to make an impact is by respecting yourself enough to leave. So don't be afraid to step back when it's clear there's no interest. It shows that you're confident, emotionally intelligent, and ready for something real. Here's the bottom line. Sometimes, the strongest move you can make is to stop chasing altogether. Women don't miss the guys who keep pushing. They remember the ones who respected their space, who didn't need to prove themselves endlessly. If you want to stand out, let your confidence speak louder than your persistence. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below about your experiences, whether they went well or completely sideways, and I'll be checking in. Let's connect and talk about what really works and what doesn't. You might be surprised at how much we all have in common. Thanks as always for watching, and until next time, this is Stoic Approach to Life.